Hello writers, come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can go on this journey with me. If this is your first time joining me, then I'm excited to have you here on my channel. If you've been with me from the beginning or somewhere along the journey, I am super glad you are returning. Today we're going to discuss a few terms. Actually, I think it's 4 terms that we're discussing. The terms are demonstrative, elucidate, galvanize, and vex. 4 terms. No writing prompts, so you get to chill today and not do any writing. If you have a daily goal, then you go find something to write about or something. So go write in your journal at least something. Write something. Now, demonstrative means of a person who tends to show feelings, especially of affection, openly. A second definition is serving as conclusive evidence of something or giving proof. Synonyms for the first definition are expressive, open, forthcoming, emotional, communicative, responsive, unreserved, unrestrained, effusive, expansive, gushing, and more. Synonyms for the second definition are indicative, suggestive, illustrative, inventive, expository, convincing, conclusive, certain, decisive, and more. Now, how can we use this term in our stories? That's always the question. How can we use it? Many times in life, people tell us not to wear hearts on our sleeves. Idiom alert, idiom alert. People tell us to have a poker face. Not give away our feelings. Part of that is because people will take advantage of us and our feelings. Sometimes people will pretend to feel the same way to more easily enable them to gain our trust and take advantage of us. I know that like salespeople are supposed to where are you from? Oh, I'm from Houston. Oh, I lived in Houston for 5 years of my life. Even if they didn't, they're supposed to say that. They're supposed to have some kind of common ground. Oh yeah, my ex-wife was a Catholic. Oh yeah, I have a daughter. They're supposed to find some kind of common ground, be literally or not literally, so they can make us feel like they're our buddy when they're trying to sell us our car, that kind of thing. So they're trying to gain our trust and take advantage of us. Now in our stories, our heroes need to show that they care. That doesn't mean they wear their heart on the sleeve, but they need to show that they care. But we can twist it for the antagonist, and they can pretend to show that they care. The antagonist pretends he cares, then it's going to be a harder time to convince the people that the protagonist is protecting them. Drama and romance probably have a lot more scenes that are demonstrative, but other genres can have splashes of emotion as well. The second definition of serving as conclusive evidence, that can be used in a mystery, but it can also be used in other genres as well. I don't want us to pigeonhole things into this can go here and this can go here, because we are writers, we are creators. We get to take what it is and see how it fits, and if it fits, we can just use it for whatever genre we're working, whatever settings we're working. So I don't want to pigeonhole things in. You do need evidence. So that's why it can be used in other things. Serving as conclusive evidence. You need evidence that the bad guy is bad. In lots of genres. So that's the way you can use it for other than mystery. So leave a comment on a character in a movie that was demonstrative or displaying emotions. So the first definition. And then leave a comment on demonstrative evidence in a show or movie. So that's the second definition. It's two different. Both are kind of showing. One's showing emotion, one's kind of showing evidence. So there's a tie there. Why is the same word, two meanings? Our second term, elucidate. Elucidate makes something clear or to explain. Some synonyms are explain, make clear, make plain, illuminate, throw or shed light on, clarify, interpret, expound on, and more. Now, I think we need to moderate this in our writings because our readers don't want to be told everything, especially not right away in the story. If they're told everything, then they don't have to read the story because they know what's going to happen, right? They want to figure things out, especially in mystery, but other genres as well. They want to kind of be thinking, oh, this might happen or this might, so that they have surprises later. If you explain everything, then you disappoint the readers to a degree, So like the story that with the setting that I'm doing, if I explain everything about the vampires and I explain all the history, and I don't just kind of let it bubble up to the surface, then I'm going to disappoint my readers or my viewers. So I don't want to elucidate everything, okay? So I don't want to disappoint my readers, or at least not to disappoint them to at least a degree. Elucidation should be gradual and not all at once. You don't want information dump. So Enora informed Kahira and Callista of a lot of things last Tuesday. So the characters know things that the readers don't know. So readers will have to kind of figure things out or see things as they happen. Or something might happen and Kahira might be like, that must have been what Enora meant when she said blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't an information dump, or I tried not to make it information dump. So you want that, so it's gradual and not all at once. And of course, by the end of the story, everything should be clear. You don't want mysteries unsolved or questions hanging. Unless, of course, there's a book 2, book 3, book 4, whatever. So, and that's my beef with Derek Gunn and his vampire apocalypse. It's kind of left us hanging there and didn't finish the story. So, didn't leave me in a good place. I had to just kind of imagine the end of it like I want it to be or what have you. But he did a good job. It was good writing, but he did not leave everything clear at the end. Leave a comment on a book or a movie where you felt they either elucidated too much or not enough. I know there was one movie, I don't remember the name of it. I had read the book first. And I read the book. I understood the book. It was a great book. I went and watched the movie, and I was lost, and I was confused, and some of the characters looked similar to other characters. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I tried to piece it out, because at least I had read the book. But I wish I could remember the name of that movie at this point, but I don't remember, because it was a book. If I could just remember the author too, then I could probably tell you enough. But I might get you that information next Tuesday. But yeah, the movie was I couldn't follow the movie at all. The book was great. I enjoyed the book. So leave a comment, and I will either leave a comment or a comment next week on a book where they felt that either elucidated too much or not enough. Our next term is galvanize. Galvanize means shock shock or excite someone into taking action. Second definition is to coat iron or steel with a protective layer of zinc. I think we'll go with the first definition for our rights. Some synonyms for the first definition are jolt, shock, startle, impel, stir, spur, prod, urge, motivate, stimulate, electrify, excite, rouse, and many more. Now, if someone or something doesn't galvanize our protagonist into action, he or she will never start the hero's journey. If the hero needs the people to help, then he or she must galvanize his or her side around them. And it can take a lot to motivate people to rise up and fight tyranny or oppression, because there's going to be losses. There's never a revolution without casualties. You cannot have a resolution and zero casualties. You might want to think that you can, but you can't. There's not going to be zero casualties. So it takes a lot. Motivated people to rise up and fight tyranny and oppression. It can take a lot to leave comfort and fight for freedom, or fight to right the wrongs. Like I said, fight can take lives away or can seriously injure people. There should be some hope to win. If not, then why fight? If you're going to lose anyway, why fight? So while we need to galvanize the hero or the people, it's not easy to do so. Many people just want saving. They want the hero to come in and save them. They don't want to have to do anything for the freedom that they have or the freedom that they want. We discussed that. Well, Friday, the people were getting a little antsy in King Fate Right's kingdom because they didn't want to live in the caves. They wanted their kingdom back. And some of these people, they left because they thought it was a fire. They didn't realize they were being attacked. They just want to go back to their kingdom, rebuild their kingdom, have it nice, the neighbors they used to have. Just save us. That's why you're a king. That's why you're soldiers. Just save us. So, that's why in our stories we need to build to a point of severe oppression or tyranny, or to a breaking point. What does it take to galvanize people? And also, I'm going to take a side trip here. In today's time, we're always getting bombarded by people trying to galvanize us to their cause or their action or their protest or their this or their that. They're always trying. So we're so bombarded with people trying to galvanize us that we're just like, I heard it before. It's gonna work. It's been working for 200 years. It's still gonna work. So it's harder and hard as time goes on. I think it gets harder to galvanize people, or the more they've been galvanized in the past, the harder it's going to be. And the more comfort people have, the less likely they will be galvanized easily. If you're comfortable, we're comfortable in our house. Look at my house. Books, photos, knickknacks. I'm sitting here in the air conditioning. If I'm going to go protest something, I'm going to be standing in the heat. I might have to carry a water bottle, and this might be all the water that I get while I'm protesting. And I don't like the heat. Why would I do that when I could just sit here at home? It would be harder to galvanize me to do something, especially if I'm going to have to, there's no toilet nearby, there's no water nearby, the food, I have to wait for the food until after why am I going to do that? It has to be severely important and severely true, and not with a lot of hyperbole. We discussed that term before. Not a lot of hyperbole going on to galvanize me. So Like I said, the more comfort people have, the less likely they will be galvanized easily. Yes, you can still galvanize them. Most times. Most people, most times. In Braveheart, the people just wanted to live in peace, but the antagonist kept pushing. Right? Until they killed Mel Gibson's wife. I don't remember his name in that movie. But, you know, he married off in the woods, so it was a secret and stuff, so the English army couldn't try to impregnate his wife before he got to have sex with his own wife. And, you know, so finally they found out, so they just killed her. They found out that they had been married and everything, and didn't notify people, so they killed her. So then Mel Gibson's character, galvanized the people to stand up and fight. In the end, of course, he did lose his life, but his last words were not, "Please have mercy." They were like shouting, "Freedom! Freedom!" and then killed him. But in that movie, the oppression was a long time. Long time. Because they killed Mel's dad when he was a young boy. I guess shot an arrow through him, and then he had to kind of break off the shaft to pull the arrow out and stuff. And he wanted to fight that day. He wanted to go kill those Englishmen. But his uncle, or someone, I think it was his uncle, told him to learn to use his head before learning to use his sword. So the oppression that these people had was from when he was a young boy to a grown man. And it just grew worse and worse. So, when they were in that kind of thing, and him using his head was important too, because a lot of times the people didn't have hope. Like, the English had the horses and they could just run them down, so how are we going to fight this? So he got them to get the logs and to shave off the logs to make point. So they stood there while the English started rushing them. And at the last minute, they raised up these logs for the horse to be impaled on. And once they got that, they got hope to fight. They got hope that they could win and they wouldn't just be killed or slaughtered. That thinking that he was able to do, or that learning to use his head, helped him later to galvanize the people. So leave a comment on a book, movie, or show where the protagonist galvanized the people to fight. Hint, hint, hint. This cannot be Superman, who came in and saved the day. He even flew around the world the wrong way to make it back in time so he could save Lois Lane. Okay, this isn't that. He fought. He always did the good or whatever. I want you to leave a comment where the protagonist galvanized the people, all the people, to fight for what was right or in their favor. Leave a comment on a real life situation where someone galvanized you, or you galvanized someone to a worthy cause. Gave up your air conditioning, basically. But what had to happen for that to happen? Keep comments respectful and learn from the perspective of others. Maybe this thought or this case would galvanize me because I think this is really wrong, or I think this is really right, or whatever. Maybe this would galvanize me, but you could care less about it. But this case over here is really important to you, and you could galvanize around that case. So just because I don't agree with what you're galvanized around doesn't make it something special to you or something important to you. So keep comments respectful and learn from the perspectives of others. I can learn how galvanized you are about that, you know, let me look at that topic and see how people react to that and that kind of thing. So maybe not that certain topic that I want galvanized, but how you go about being galvanized and what you will do once you are galvanized. So that would be a great perspective for us to share. So keep it respectful. You know, if you abortion, death penalty, whatever. There's lots of topics out there that people galvanize around. Be respectful. Okay. People have perspectives, and as writers, we need those perspectives. So when somebody puts something in that you don't agree with, it's actually helping you to open you up to see the other side, so that your writing's not flat. If you just write from your perspective and nobody else's, your writing will be flat, and we don't want that. Our last term is vex. Vex means makes someone feel annoyed, frustrated, or worried, especially with trivial matters. Some synonyms are annoy, irritate, infuriate, anger, incense, inflame, enrage, irk, chagrin, exasperate, madden, pique, provoke, and half a page more. And then went on and on and on and on and on. Now, a trivial matter, this is part of the definition. Trivial matter might be a personal pet peeve. Okay? Like, I don't like it when somebody has their hair hanging in front of their eyes and they're talking to me. You know? I like to look people in the eyes. I like to see what your eyes are saying. If you're doing like this, I just really don't want to talk to you. I'm just like, okay. They don't want me to look at them, so I don't want to do that. So to vex me, you would purposely put your hair in your eyes and then try to talk to me. This personal pet peeve, it's kind of silly, it's stupid, whatever. Many people have pet peeves. Lots of people have pet peeves. I mean, you see people that are just, they'll straighten things and they want things just pet peeves. So, when you know their pet peeve, you know it, and you take advantage of it to annoy them, then you are vexing them, right? I know that bothers you, and you can't do anything because it's silly. Okay, so when they have pet peeves and you do it anyway, you're vexing them. The idiom for this behavior is called poking the bear. I've heard people say, don't poke the bear, or she likes to poke the bear. So that's when you're vexing people. Now, so for the drill, how does this term help us with our stories? This is part of life. People vex others all the time. Therefore, this could be same side vexing, opposite sides vexing. In the sitcom Big Bang, Sheldon had a certain space. He sat on the couch. And he would become like unhinged if somebody else sat there. I mean, he wouldn't sit down anywhere else. He'd just kind of just... And most people knew, most of his friends knew that, and they didn't sit there. But Penny, who was their neighbor across the hall, she would always gravitate towards that spot. I mean, it was right there by the lamp and the side of the... I probably would have gravitated to that spot too, because I'm left-handed. I like to lean that way. But she always gravitated to that spot. Now, in The Mummy, Jonathan, who was Evie's brother, was always annoying the others, doing this and doing that. And it's like, why do you do that? But near the end, he would do some heroic deed. So it paid off to put up with him. Now, of course, if the antagonist knows the pet peeve of the protagonist, then he or she can vex the protagonist and perhaps catch the protagonist in a trap. Or vice versa. It's yours to play with. You know, if somebody's poking the bear, sometimes once you're poked or whatever, you react and you don't think about it. So, you are the writer. Play around with it. This is not the Golden Girls, where everyone gets along all the time. No. This is Nellie Oleson vexing Laura Ingalls. This is Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park vexing everyone with his messiness. So, I mean, it's like, how can you find anything on this desk? So no one thinks he is nefarious or has nefarious plans. They're just like, oh, he's such a mess. He's just, I don't know why I have to put up with him, but he's got this plan, and he ends up being a part of the antagonist group, or leading to unleashing the dinosaurs on people. This is a chance for some comedy. This is a chance to really show your readers that you know people and how they act and how they respond. Most of us have had a sibling or a parent or a child that knew how to poke the bear or how to vex us. Then we react without thinking that we let them push our buttons. That's another idiom. Push your buttons. In the Big Bang example above, that was comedy. Unlike Nellie in the Little House on the Prairie example, that was drama or real life. But if we're doing comedy, we're thinking comedy. Think of Donkey in Shrek. He was a very vexing character. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, Donkey, shut up! But that added to the comedy of that show. So leave an example of a character in a show or movie that vexed someone else, and add if that was just annoying. Like sometimes somebody's just tapping. Stop! Stop! So just a noise like that. Is it annoying or is it comedy? Did it add to the comedy of the show? Just leave those comments. Okay, writers. We don't have a writing prompt today. So go out and write on your chapters. Make sure you meet your writing goal, because that's what this channel is here to help us to create a community and help us all to meet our writing goal. Leave a comment on your writing goal so that we can keep that in mind of who has what goal, and or your daily average goal. I don't have a day set like 500 per day, because I work sometimes and sometimes I don't get to writing. My goal is a daily average. I want to have 500 per day average. So if I don't write today and I write 1,000 tomorrow, that would get my average. Or if I don't write 2 days and then I write 1,500, that would get my average. So I have an average goal. I think it's more realistic, so then I don't have to say, oh, I missed my goal today, I didn't write my 500 words, because life happens. So that's why I think average is better. So, but you tell me what you do. Leave a comment on your daily goal or your daily average and how well you've kept it so far this year. I guess I could go over to my page and see how many words I've done so far this year. Let's see if it'll go over there. Nope, it's not going. That's right, my computer shut down earlier. I was having such a hard time with my computer. It was not being nice to me. Okay, my average so far this year is 608 words. And of course, I am on September 20th right now. I have 608 words. So I'm meeting my goal. And I just have an Excel sheet that I can plug in the starting count and the ending count, and then it does the subtraction for me, and then it can add to the total. So it's very easy for me to keep that total. That's how I keep up with it. I don't know how you keep up with it, but there's in the bottom of your screen, the left bottom, until I go to Windows 11, there's a number. Right now I'm looking at 1536. So when I start the scripts, I paste stuff in. So I would paste that on this one I had 294 pasted. So I don't count those words because I didn't write those words today. 294, and then I ended with 1536, so that's 1242 that I added to the script. So that was how much I did. So that it's very easy to do that if you want to keep up with how much you do. Otherwise, you can just look at your paper and write half a page and say, I wrote half a page, that's about 500 words, and just estimate. You don't have to be precise. Join me Friday for Eleni's Pride, Gaining Freedom, Chapter 3. Join me Tuesday for a little jargon, and part 16 of your cave stories. Don't forget to visit my website by Michaela.com, read some character bios, send your writings and chapters to writewithmichaela@gmail.com. Leave comments on your favorite characters. Visit my coach's blog, authorkristenlam.com, and read a blog post. Leave a comment on a blog you read and how it will help you with your writing. If you hit the like and subscribe and the bell, then we will continue to write together, and other people will have a higher chance of finding this video and this channel, since your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, please share with them. This is Michaela with Write with Michaela. Bye for now.